In this video, I'll be going over 27 Valkyrie cameras that are the most hidden Valkyrie cameras I know in Siege. To show you this, let's start out on Valkyrie's best map, which is Bank. Now, there's a lot of places you can hide Valkyrie cameras in lobby that are all pretty good, but I have one that I think takes the cake as the best. To do this, make your way into Lone. Then you're going to line yourself up with this marble wall here, turn around and put your legs on the golden line that leads to the carpet, just like this. From here, you're going to throw your Valkyrie camera until it reaches the tip of the top of this pillar right here, and then throw it just a little bit further back until the Valkyrie camera disappears from your vision. Then throw your camera. After it lands and you look down, as you can see, you can clearly see lobby and anybody walking into ATMs. You can have it just a little bit farther forward to see the staircase. The only issue with that is that the farther forward you have, the less that it blends in with the dark corner that is right there, making it a lot less hidden. But as you can see, even from right here, you can't even see that Valkyrie camera at all unless it were actually on. But it can still pretty clearly see you, which is why I think this is the best Valkyrie camera for lobby. But what if they push top square? Well, then I actually recommend that you throw a Valkyrie camera on this pot of plants. If you try to throw Valkyrie cameras on plants, they'll just bounce off a lot of the time, so you have to do this very particularly. You have to hit the marble wall behind the plants while still hiding it behind the leaves. To do this, I like to throw my camera right about here. As you can see, it's pretty hidden, no one's really going to be looking for it. Even from all the way back here, it kind of just looks like another leaf. But as you can see, I can clearly see anybody in top square, which not only makes the camera really good, but it allows me to sit right here on my camera and wait for anybody below the door to get a free nitro cell when they walk in. But let's say you're actually defending the basement. Well, you need a camera in garage somewhere, and the best camera that you can get is actually on this mirror on the armored truck. Any other Valkyrie camera in a corner or on a pipe is pretty common and it will get shot. However, this camera is actually bulletproof. When you turn it to the right, you can see through the actual glass of the truck to anybody walking in garage. But if I'm an attacker walking through garage, I'm not going to know that it's on the other side of two pieces of glass. And even if I were to see that tiny little dot right there on the mirror, this glass is bulletproof, so it doesn't matter anyways, making this the most safe cam that you can use. But let's move on from the map of Bank, and let's move on to Border, where I have even more Valkyrie cameras than the last map. The first Valkyrie camera is for the armory site. If they go for a plant, you need a camera on where they're planting to be able to get a below C4 because all of this floor is wooden. The best one in my opinion is on this light bulb inside of armory. Any Valkyrie camera that's on a light bulb perfectly blends in because from an attacker's perspective, without knowing this is a camera, this just looks like the actual light bulb. But as you can see, this camera can see all of armory, even the plant over there, as well as even into archives a bit. And if they plant on any of this soft surface, you can easily kill them. Even if they plant on this marble surface, you can put a hole in this floor here and get a nitro cell onto the actual brick floor, which as you can see is right there. But if you're playing downstairs for a nitro, it's actually going to be pretty nice to have a camera downstairs to make sure you're not getting cleared. Which is why I'm going to put a Valkyrie camera on a light bulb, again, just like this. No one's going to think that's a Valkyrie camera, they're always so used to that being a light bulb, so they're not going to check there. But as you can see, it can still see the majority of workshop, and even if you're downstairs playing this site, this is still a great camera to have. But no matter what site you go to, out of all 4 of the sites on this map, you should have a camera somewhere in CC. To make a good CC camera, come into detention. Then you're going to shoot out this part of the wooden floor right here. Now to do this camera, you want to throw it through the floor and on the right side of this wall as high as you possibly can, just like this. Now from here, when you get on your camera, you can see the majority of the actual CC room as well as the CC box. But you can't see all of CC for the trade-off, simply that this camera is more hidden than any other camera that you could possibly get. Now for the final camera on Border, a place that every attacker goes every round is the main metal staircase. And you probably guessed it by now, but you're gonna put a camera on a light bulb. This camera is more obvious than others because the light doesn't actually fill the Valkyrie camera, making it look like a light bulb. But when an attacker's looking around for a camera, they're gonna look up here, they're gonna look in 90, they're gonna look in the sight, they're not gonna turn around and look above them. But you're still clearly able to see metal stairs, and because this floor right here is soft, you can actually throw a below nitro right about here and get a kill when you see them rushing upstairs. But let's move on to a map that's even better for Valkyrie than Border is, and that is Chalet. Now, if you're playing the basement of Chalet and you want a good Valkyrie camera for upstairs, I actually recommend that you come to this plant and this light bulb and throw it on the actual bottom part of the light bulb right here. Because it's covered by the leaves of this plant, most people don't actually end up finding this camera, while it still allows you to see anybody that's top K9 balcony, or any RAM players that are getting vert onto your floor. You can also partially see into bar and on the main staircase, making this Valkyrie camera really good for the basement. If you want a camera that's better for the top floor though, then I actually recommend that you put a camera right here in the Ivy hallway chase. When an attacker is pushing up to this double door, they don't actually have the luxury of looking up to see this camera, otherwise they're going to get shot by these head holes and this door, making this camera literally never get found in any of my ranked games. If you want to know what this camera sees, it sees just a small portion of Ivy Hall, but it's honestly better used as an audio call if anyone's in the Ivy hallway, because the truth is this camera doesn't see a lot, but it can hear a lot. Now, if you want an actual better Valkyrie camera for the top floor somewhere in Fireplace that can see the top of Fireplace instead of just the bottom one like that one on the light, then the next Valkyrie camera I recommend you put down is right here under the chase, under the moonlight right here. That Valkyrie camera is pretty hidden as it is hidden in the dark, but it can see both of the hallways for top Fireplace and bottom Fireplace, and it can see if the wall's getting open while giving you an audio call for anything else that you'd want. I know a lot of these cameras are for audio, so if you don't want to have to use audio or trust your teammates to use audio, then I recommend the Valkyrie camera you use for top mez actually go above the library quad wall right there. This can see more ground of Fireplace and give an audio call for library, but it's honestly personal preference. But let's move on to an even better map, which is Clubhouse. Now, if you want a great Valkyrie camera that can see the majority of kitchen for that below nitro cell that I know you want to do, then all you have to do is prone on this hatch just like this and throw your Valkyrie camera under this shelf. Now, if anyone is crouched in kitchen, they actually can't see this camera at all. And if they're standing, they obviously can't see it either. But this camera can pretty clearly see the feet of anybody who is here and anybody who's more importantly in freezer for that below nitro that I know you want to do. This camera is especially great because, like I said earlier, people can't really see it. And when most people look for Valkyrie cameras, they're going to be looking up instead of down. So this normally never gets found in my ranked games. Once you've moved on from the basement and you're finally playing in CC, I definitely recommend you have a Valkyrie camera somewhere in rafters. The best Valkyrie camera that I know for rafters is probably not one that you're thinking of. I like to put mine on the right side of these black pipes next to the generator right here. Like I said, people will look in pipes, they'll look above pipes, in those tires, in shelves, but they never look somewhere that's plainly just out in the open. The best part about it being specifically behind these pipes as well, is that when people are lower garage on this garage door walking in, they can't shoot it, and they actually have to get 2 rafters to be able to shoot the camera, which exposes them to the head holes here or anybody in CC, making it more dangerous to get this camera, while still allowing the camera to see anybody that's in garage or in rafters. But let's move on from the cash bomb site and talk about a camera that's great for the bedroom bomb site. Honestly, this camera's great for both. And to do it, all you have to do is, you guessed it, throw it on the light bulb in construction just like that. No one's gonna think that's a Valk cam, but this camera can still see all of construction as well as anybody who's coming in through the construction wall here, making it great for either bomb site if you just want information on this room. Now, I know some of these cameras might not have been up to par to what you were expecting, and honestly, that's fair. But a camera that I guarantee you've never seen is this next one for the top floor of Cafe, or honestly, for any floor of Cafe, because this camera can be useful to any single site you go to. To do this, all you have to do is shoot out this portion of the ledge for new balcony. Then throw your camera next to the window frame between the cigar dresser right there, which can see all of the top floor, give an audio cue for the new balcony drop, see the default plant, and see the majority of pillar as well as anybody walking up to brown stairs, which can see all of the top floor, all of pillar, into hell, into heaven, the brown stairs, anybody planting in the default, anybody dropping skylight, and it can give an audio cue for downstairs 90 and for the new hatch drop. It is one of the best cameras that I know in the game, and definitely something you should be using every round of Valkyries on the board for Cafe. But what if you want a camera that watches the majority of the downstairs? Then all you have to do is come into restaurant. From here, you can prone under this table and throw a camera exactly where I do. I'd be careful though and only throw this after the prep phase because a lot of drones like to actually be here as an attacker. But if you're able to place it safely without anyone finding it, this can see the entire hallway, even into small bakery right there. It can also see into reception. And even the coat check window just like that, while still giving you an audio cue for anybody hopping into restaurant or into Christmas. An even better camera than that one though, which is this Valkyrie camera to watch both all of garage and all of office. To do this, get out your Valkyrie camera and throw it in the top left corner of this ceiling, just like this. This Valkyrie camera, as you can see, can watch all of top garage, give an audio cue for bottom garage, watch the garage stairs, even both of the window hop-ins you can see, and you can see all of office, the office rotate, into the electrical closet, and every single default plant that they would use for this site. Cool part is all of this floor is soft, so if you want to get a below nitro, you absolutely can with that camera. Now, from an attacker's perspective, that is a bit easy to see, especially when it's on. So if you want a more hidden camera, come into bull. To do this camera, all you have to do is try to hide it behind these white pipes, just like this. Now, if anybody is in Bull, they cannot see that camera behind the pipes. However, this camera can still see all of Bull as well as the Bull window hop-in, even into Shark stairs if they're pushing up the hallway, trying to go to this doorway over here. So that camera, combined with the other one that I just went over, makes it really, really easy for you to get any below nitros on this wooden floor. Now, if you want a camera that can watch somewhere downstairs, then I recommend you come into the reptile hallway right here, prone next to these chairs, and throw your camera behind the suitcase, but above it so it can see through it. And now this camera can watch the entire hallway as well as reception and anybody walking up Shark stairs. It can watch any rotate downstairs as well if you're playing the green and red bedroom bomb site. But from an attacker's perspective, they literally cannot even see this camera, much less shoot it, making it pretty invulnerable most of the time you use it. Now, honestly, Outback is a pretty bad map for Valkyrie aside from the 3 cameras I just showed you. So let's move on to the next map, which is Theme Park. Now, there are some good Valkyrie spots that I'll go over for this map, but by far the best one is actually inside of maintenance if you're playing the first floor. To do this, literally all you have to do is, as Valkyrie, go as far back into maintenance as the camera throw will allow you to, and then throw your camera just like that. Now, because there's wooden grating here, you literally cannot shoot this camera even through the little squares right here. It is completely invincible to bullets, but this camera can still watch all of maintenance as well as see if the wall is getting opened, allowing you to sit inside of Throne, get on that camera, and do a nitro cell over the wall for a free kill. Now, if you want a Valk cam that can watch most of the top floor, all you have to do is throw a Valkyrie camera just like this above the red grating on the wall. This Valkyrie camera can watch all of Dragon as well as Top Dragon, even into maintenance, and it can watch your main hallway. It can also watch into reception and even into the initiation door, making this one of the best Valkyrie cameras for the top floor. You're even able to pick this Valkyrie camera up if you don't like it and position it more to the right if you want to prioritize this camera watching more of waiting room instead of watching more of this hallway. It's completely up to you, although I will say people find that camera a lot more because they're able to shoot it from this double door than they will a camera on the left side, but really it's personal preference. But let's move on from Theme Park and on to Skyscraper. I think Skyscraper is one of the most underrated maps for Valkyrie, and I'll show you 2 cameras as to why. Now, first of all, if you're playing bar or you're playing either one of the upstairs sites, you want a camera somewhere downstairs here, as a lot of attackers like to rotate through here, and for any of your defenders trying to flank if they want information. The best camera that I've found to do this job, the best camera that I've found to actually do this job is inside of the wine case, just like that. That camera right there can see pretty much all of the downstairs as well as seeing into the hallway on the left to make sure that there is no single way that they can flank downstairs without you at least knowing about it. If you want to be able to watch every upstairs flank as well, it's as simple as throwing a Valkyrie camera somewhere in this wine cellar just like this. With this Valkyrie camera able to watch every single upstairs cutoff and this Valkyrie camera being able to watch every single downstairs cutoff, that makes it to where you're going to be able to see every attacker at least once during the round unless they do a direct sight hit. But with it out of the way, let's move on to our next map, which is going to be Villa. Now, there are a lot of different hidden Valkyrie cameras in Villa, probably more than I can put in this video, but I'll give you the best 3 in my opinion. The first one is a complete sleeper pick, and it's actually under this lamp inside of Study right here. This might look extremely obvious, and honestly, it is, and I use this in every ranked game. The funny part is it literally never gets found, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this is super hidden and I know why no one finds it. I don't know why anyone doesn't find it. It baffles me too, but I mean, in champion lobbies, no one sees this, so I would try it and just see if it works for you too, because I feel like this is just like an unpatched glitch, dude. It's crazy. But anyways, without the glazing, this can see all of Study, and the best part about it is you can actually do a below nitro cell with it, so if anybody walks in the Study door, you can blow this up, and it won't destroy the Valkyrie camera a lot of the times. The next Valkyrie camera I want to go over can actually see into 90 and onto top main stairs, and that's simply the Valkyrie camera that's behind these leaves right here. That Valkyrie camera is super hidden. You just have to make sure there's no drones here in the prep phase that can see you doing this or that want to take this spot. But even though it's behind leaves, it can see most of 90 and give you an audio cue for the main stairs. But if you want a Valkyrie camera for the trophy and statue bomb side, I actually recommend having one inside of Master. To do this, just come into Laundry and shoot the floor on the left side of the hatch right here. This will break open the floor under the master bed, and all you have to do is throw a Valkyrie camera under the bed like that. From here, if you look up, you can see anybody's feet that's in master, and they will not be able to find or shoot this camera. As you can see, even when I'm prone, I can't see or shoot the camera, and nobody realistically is going to prone next to the bed anyways because they're getting it shot from the wall, from the door, or from bathroom, so this camera is safe 9 times out of 10. Now, for the final camera, I'm actually going to give you a bonus camera for this map, and that is anywhere that there is a chandelier. On red stairs, or on main stairs, a lot of the times you can throw a Valkyrie camera on one of these lights, just like this. And this camera can see the entire staircase and anything in front of it. Personally, I like the one on red stairs better, but you get the idea. These are pretty hidden and blend in really well, especially on a staircase when the attackers have to look up at here and they don't have the luxury of being able to sit and stare at a lamp. These don't get found or shot a lot of the times. Now, let's move on to the final Valkyrie camera of this video, which is actually going to go on consulate. Now, this does require 2 Valkyrie cameras, but don't worry, you're going to be able to pick one of them up. To do this Valkyrie camera, all you have to do is throw one camera on this pillar right here. And then because whenever you throw a Valkyrie camera on a plant, it just breaks the plant, you're gonna actually have to bounce one Valkyrie camera off of a different one to be able to hide it in the plants without them breaking. So like I said, throw that first Valkyrie camera and then bounce your second one off of the first one, which will make it land in those plants without those plants breaking. Then you can actually pick up the first Valkyrie camera even though it looks super far away. And then this Valkyrie camera can see all of the downstairs hallway as well as most of Spiral and even into the hallway on the right, which is really good if you're playing the first floor or the basement objective. But that's it for today's video. My name's Alka, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.